I think would have been great, or was great because I punted, that's true. God damn it, mana base. 4 mountains in the deck, 3 in my opening hand. I mean, I can produce blue mana here, but I'm pretty much guaranteed to draw Gush next turn. Yeah, I think considering that I'm on the draw, and I already, in the best case, only have a turn 4 kill after Cyclops, I think I'm gonna mulligan this. Okay, now we need to find a threat. And then hope that Mutagenic Growth keeps my threat alive and I can untap and... No, not this matchup again. Okay, I think I'll probe them first. Because then if I find a threat right away, I can fetch turn 1. Electricity is decent for me because that doesn't really interact with my main game plan. But we have 1 Galvanic Blast to work through at the very least. Draw days. Yeah, I would have drawn Gush in the 7 card hand, for sure. So Ponder combines well with the Evolving Wilds. But I do already have all the pieces in my hand that I need except for a creature. So I think I'll just fetch Mountain and then next turn I might probe to see if I find a Kiln Fiend, and if not I ponder to find a Sniped. Am I? It definitely doesn't look good for this game. Oh, snipped. Oh yeah, I snipped this time. Oh. Yeah, this is my snip. Yeah, I got it now. I was like, why would you assume I'm getting sniped? But that was not at all what was going on. Okay, I think I'll still cash this in. Even though I lose my combo enabler spell. Journey to Nowhere. No. That's rude. So now I have to just come up with 2 creatures. And I don't even have 1 yet. It's pretty unfortunate. Okay. Double Mutagenic Growth. Nope, I'll pass on those. Yeah, definitely. Making everyone else play Boros is definitely hurting my chances, though it was quite a lucrative thing to do as well, just making top 8 every week. Prismatics, oh my god. At least they're stuck on 2 lands at the moment, so they have a hard time developing their cycling artifacts, so Galvanic Blast might not necessarily deal 4 damage. Though I guess they can still go Thraben Inspector plus Galvanic Blast in the same turn, and then it always has Metacraft. So feels like it's pretty much impossible for me to win this game. Even with my opponent misplaying, I can't really see a way. Gush is like my best card to fight through a ton of removal usually, but then I'm drawing 2 cards that are useless. And I have to set back my resources, so I think I'll just shuffle this and hope my opponent plays like the wrong removal spell at the wrong time or anything. Daze is actually one of my best cards here, knowing that my opponent is mana screwed, because I might be able to Daze the Journey to Nowhere if they tap out for it and then win from there. Like best case I find a Nivik Cyclops here and Daze their Journey to Nowhere and then untap and win. Yes. 2 like part 1 of the plan. 2/3 of the way? No, that doesn't make any sense. 1/3 of the way there. Now they need to miss their land drop or have a tapped land. Yes! And now I need to still top deck a spell that I can cast, so I trigger this. And knowing that they didn't have the land, they also can't activate the vial. Come on, spell. Yes! Too easy. This matchup is just so easy. They have like no way of ever killing your creature, and you just get to kill them every time. Please know that this is completely unrealistic, but yeah, I did call all the shots. Deck is cooperating. Yeah, if you get to Vampiric Tutor every turn, then it is possible to beat opponents who are mana screwed. Okay, so now we get the protection package in here and get to cut our horrible Spellweaver Eternals. And I think I figured out that you do want all the Battle Rages, even though that 2-for-1ing yourself into your opponent's removal spells is pretty awful. I think the only way that we can win this matchup is if we just jam a combo very early on and abuse the fact that our opponent has a bunch of tapped lands and might not be able to interact early on. And then, yeah, these Vapor Snacks are awkward, but I am afraid of Standard Bearer. So I guess I'll just cut like a Metamorphose and call it a day, and then have these as Standard Bearer answers. You could have Electric Tree, but these can also get like Core Skyfisher out of the way and deal some tiny amount of damage to my opponent. So that seems okay. Hopefully not. I still want to go 5-0. I hope I still have some good luck left. Yeah, $1 million track. Like $1 million stream donation or something is what I want to call next. My streak seems to be going well, so maybe that works. At least if there is some good luck still left. If Electric Crayon is correct, then I have no chance. Man, these mountains are awkward. The good old mountain Swiftwater Cliffs. Gosh, opening hand once again. I think I'll try this, but if I don't find a threat until turn 3, the hand's pretty awful. Second mountain. Great combo with Gush as well. I'm pretty conservative with my 1-times usually. I just outline what I would need to go right for me to win, but I don't make it a 1-time every time. That seems like a pretty aggressive Skyfisher. I don't really agree with my opponent's usage. Also, this hand is incredible if they ever find red mana and completely unplayable if they don't. I'm not certain if this is a mulligan by opponent, but I definitely would have played the hand very differently. I think turn 1 Ancient Den cycle the Secluded Step, turn 2 Radiant Fountain, and probably just pass the turn and not Skyfisher was likely better, though they could have drawn the Ancient Den after they played their Secluded Step, but that makes it even more likely that it was just a mulligan. I don't know. Don't really agree with my opponent's choices there. I do agree with their Straw Step though. Though this time I do have a chance to actually play around something. If I just fetch tapped island here, then wait a turn and have protection open for my Kiln Fiend. Yeah, that's likely better than just jamming it. Jamming it gives me some chance of just winning the turn after, but I think it's incorrect. That was definitely the draw that I needed, but I think I still can play it a little bit more conservatively. Oh, if they have an untapped red source, I'm still screwed though, because they can end of turn bolt it, untap bolt it again. So now I need a Nivik Cyclops once again. Or just any follow-up, I guess. If I get both of the bolts out of my opponent's hand, then even a second Kiln Fiend does it. God damn it. Yeah, I guess then I'm just passing the turn and waiting until I have double protection open. Yeah, untapped red source was terrible for me. A tapped red source would have been fine, because then I play my Kiln Fiend, my opponent untaps the red source on their turn, casts one of their red spells, I protect, and then they die. This might be necessary for the combo turn, and I already know most of my opponent's hand. There's 5 cards that I know. Ancient Den, 2 Lightning Bolt, a Palace Sentinels, and a Pyroblast. So I think I only get screwed here when my opponent finds another red source, or some white piece of interaction like Circle of Protection Red, or Journey to Nowhere, or Prismatic Strands. Probably still want to Hydroblast this over Dizzy Spell, because the Dizzy Spell protects from Alchemist Vial and Journey to Nowhere. But most likely I'm casting the other piece of protection on my opponent's turn anyway, so it doesn't make a huge difference. Casting the Galaxian Probe could have been useful if my top card of the library is Mutagenic Growth, because then I could have protected here with Mutagenic Growth instead of Dizzy Spell. Instead of Dive Down, I mean. But yeah, having this as a free trigger for Kiln Fiend seems even more important. And this even plays around Journey to Nowhere. Not every time, but if my opponent sequences their spells like this. If they lead on Journey to Nowhere, I give Hexproof and they respond with Bolt, it doesn't work. But now they can't follow up with Journey because my creature still has Hexproof for their turn. Okay, so I should be... And I guess I'm not winning because I can't gush at the moment, even though I have multiple blue mana available. Though there's quite a few top decks that I can find that just kill my opponent. Yeah, Galvanic Blast, Pyroblast, Palace Sentinels. So Island kills them, Mutagenic Growth kills them, Manamorphose kills them. But if I let them untap, I'm pretty much dead, so I have to get there off of this Gitaxian Probe. Damn it. Well, I guess the good news is I have a second threat. Yeah, I was planning to do an emote. I just suck at all art things. Yeah, I think I just have to cash in my Battle Rage. If they don't block, no, they still don't die. Cash in my Battle Rage, get some chip damage in here, and then Kiln Fiend. And then I have 2 threats on the board, and my opponent only has 1 answer currently. The Pyroblast doesn't really do much. So they can Galvanic Blast one of these 2 down, but they need another answer. I guess they can put Palace Sentinels down as a blocker, but even that doesn't really solve their Kiln Fiend issue entirely. I can even trample over the Palace Sentinels, though I guess they can just keep Galvanic Blast open into my turn. Okay, they're not doing that. Yeah, if they Palace Sentinels and block, then I get to double strike over it and become the Monarch. That seems great. Yeah, I was planning to do a Monarch icon, because I think there's not like this thing as an icon, but it's difficult to make it work on 26 times 26 pixels, because it has a lot of detail. It's pretty big. You would have to have like only the crown and this cushion below it. I was working and trying out how the execution of it works, how it looks, but I wasn't sure yet if I can pull that off, especially with my very limited ability to make art. But yeah, that might be my first icon that I make. Okay, now I can cast Gush finally. So we have 14 damage here without a block and 10 damage if they do block. But I want to do that main phase so I can draw into some Preordains and Ponders, and then it's very likely I'll just kill my opponent here if I find another spell. Not this one. That is another spell, but not one that kills my opponent. Unfortunate, though I do get to become the Monarch. Maybe even twice. Yeah, this looks amazing for me, because now I have a dominating board position and I'm the Monarch, which is usually a recipe for success. That's basically what all my Pauper success is built upon. Yeah, they're at 3 and I have Dispel backup. This looks amazing. Yeah, but I only have 1 at the moment. I don't know. There's Like, I would want to do something with Brainstorm, but I think there's more issues with, like, overlap with other people and more issues with copyright things if I go for Brainstorm. Okay, so they do still have Pyroblast in their hand. So I think I'll hold this Dispel, and then potentially I can cast a Blue spell. They try to Pyroblast and I counter back. I mean, that threatens to take the Monarch from me again. But it doesn't generate any value here, so still alright with me. Okay, that's awful for me though. Oh! Oh man. Yeah, now they get to freely attack and I no longer am the Monarch. Man, this is awful. It was like the worst series of draws imaginable. I drew another spell that I could... Oh my god. That's disgusting. Okay, there we go with me using up all my luck. I drew an answer for Killing Fiend that can't be dispelled. And I managed to draw a second spell that doesn't trigger my Killing Fiend and another land. It is running out. Rip indeed. Rip indeed. Okay, that's a good one. Potentially. My opponent's still the Monarch. But at least I get to resolve it and have some Dispel protection open for it, so... Still need to change some cantrips and probably find my third Temur Battle Rage. That's not so easy to do. But it's better than not having anything on the board. Wow. Yeah, I mean... This is a more realistic representation of the matchup. Though I think I was actually favored at the point where I became the Monarch. And then things just went below average from there. Also, I think I was favored at the point where my opponent decided to keep their opening hand. I think I'm now no longer favored. Okay, Ponder is definitely where it starts. And then more cantrips into Temur Battle Rage. Gush, Gitex, and Probe. Okay, these are pretty much perfect. I mean, I am drawing another useless land there. Probably can pay mana for this as well. But Gush offers me Galvanic Blast Journey. I guess they drew one of those two off of the Monarch, so it makes sense that they didn't want to cast it, but wait. Huh. If they had Journey in hand, they would have definitely wanted to cast it, and with Galvanic Blast in hand, it makes very little sense for them not to cast it either. I don't know, that seems strange, that they don't cast that. Seems also a little bit suspicious. Come on, third Battle Rage. Sure. Come on, Battle Rage. Yeah, I guess why not. Allows me to cast another cantrip while still having... I still have a land drop, so blue mana is not actually that tight at the moment, but... Yes! Man, this game's easy. Never did I not have it. Never didn't have it. Take 44. I guess 38. Take 38. Justice indeed. Opponent seems to be ghosting me as well. Get wrecked. They're not even trying to cast their... Nice ghost, bro. Once again, sniping me with the unwinnable matchup. Ghosting me and still getting wrecked. Get the fuck out.